and you thought your job was hard. Not to undermine what it is you do for a living, but all things considered, think about the Alaskan crab fishermen who's tasked with hauling in nets and cages weighing hundreds of pounds in 0-degree weather, while the sky is leaking melted ice, skating on decks covered with frozen water aboard a boat being tossed on the feuding sea. Lend your imagination to the coal miner, whose cubicle is this dark, desolate corner office space, filled with noisy yet seductive accidents, waiting to breastfeed coal dust to your black lungs until your chest implausibly explodes. Who wants to walk to work with a mercenary? This freelance fighter for misappropriated fortune will willingly remove you from this walk of life, then auction off his Illuminati soul for a monetary evil rooted so deeply in his employer's pocket that he couldn't reach it if he started from the bottom. Parents, go ahead and tell your children that they can grow up to become president of these divided states of America. Just make sure you teach them the illusion of multitasking. That way, with his or her mortician-like schedule of policing the world, planning wars, and rumors of ending wars while politicking over peace treaties, that they don't become so credulous to third world countries that they appear impotent in their own domestic affairs. Yes, all of these jobs are extremely difficult. But have you ever just sat and thought how difficult it must be to be a nurse? A substandard one even, let alone a good one. And I know you're probably saying being a nurse couldn't possibly compare with all the aforementioned jobs. But how good would your poker face be? Sitting in with a stage 4 cancer patient, planning their Christmas dinner in the month of May, when they've been given 3 weeks with a 10-day grace period to live if that. Or an 8-year-old girl whose body has rejected 2 livers already, and the third one is not an option, but all she can seem to talk about is her sweet 16th birthday party and how you've been invited. I know you think doctors have it hard, but no, all doctors have to do is fix you, but then task the nurse with telling you when you can't be fixed. Consider the weight of the burden they possess. The bearer of bad news to a barren woman of 47 years that the doctors done all they could, but couldn't save either baby when she only asked God for one. By definition, a nurse's job is to promote good health and prevent illness, not prevent death. But some of these angelic-like creatures tackle their 12-hour shifts as if they can, trading their wings for a pair of gloves, a stethoscope, and some band-aids, caring too much to allow you to see them sweat, so they're constantly holding back tears, camouflage as perspiration, selling salvation for every white lie they tell to make good on a bad check between practitioner and patient. And they're just waiting. Not for accolades or accomplishments, but for simple recognition that they exist. And I've spent a night or two with more than a few. So when I get to heaven and God and I converse, I'll be sure to tell her thank you for sending my guardian angel in the form of a nurse.